Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tea Time with Jessie. I'm here today with a very special guest of mine, Jiaoying Summers.
So happy to be here.
It's really great to have Jiaoying here. Jiaoying is a comedian here in the LA scene, also originally from China, so we have a lot in common in that we're doing comedy in the second language.
That's right. We are the smartest comedians that's ever been doing comedy, because doing comedy in your second language,
Not
you
easy.
Can't do it.
Not easy. You can't do it. You can't do it. We can't. But it's really great to have you here. Jiaoying's been blowing up over here in the Hollywood comedy scene and touring all around. So very excited to hear about your shows and how that's been going and how you managed to kind of do the flip of what I did. We flipped it. Looking at your experience here really has been it's a bizarro land. It's like the weirdo Superman version of what I did over in China. So it's really exciting to hear it. Would you like to give everybody a little bit of a self-introduction? Who are you? What are you up to?
Yes. Hi, Jessie's World. My name is Jiaoying Summers. I'm Jessie if he's not a Jewish man, but a Chinese woman. The reason we can do things that crazy, like he does stand-up in Mandarin Chinese as a white boy. I do stand-up in... He's fresh off the boat in China. I'm from the boat in America, and it's very difficult. It's because... The thing special about us is that because our parents abused us more than yours.
Dude, we had problems. Something happened to us.
Something happened to us. That we are that crazy.
And we're going to investigate that. But before we get into all the
I
problems,
can't focus.
We got to have some tea.
Yeah, those are beautiful.
So this is the ancient tree green tea, the 古树绿茶. Yeah, give that a sniff. This is from Guangxi, the Hongyao自治区, the Red Yao people. They have this ancient tree grove over there, and this is one of the 4 teas that are going to be in the green tea sampler that is launching very, very soon.
That smells so good.
Yeah, depending on when you see this, either the pre-order or the actual thing will be available. I'm actually going to China in not that long.
I'm going to be in China, right?
Yeah, I think you're going to be in Beijing when I'm
We're going to be in Beijing, a big reunion.
That'll be fun. We'll have a little Beijing party.
Yeah.
So this is the ancient tree green tea. Go. I have this first one. This first one's going to be really light and sweet.
Wow.
The ancient tree green tea, it's got a little bit more of that depth to it. The ancient tree tea is a little bit funkier, and but the green tea is really, really light. So this is it's kind of almost a unique thing. It's not easy to find ancient tree green tea. So this is a real treat. Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go. 觉得怎么样？
非常好。清爽。
说得好。
清爽。
I was actually going to ask you about the adjectives. For whatever reason, I find it the hardest thing to come up with funny adjectives in the other language. Like, I can describe what's happening. If I tell a funny story in Chinese, that's funny. But if I want to have that perfect word to describe it, it's a lot harder.
清爽可口。
清爽可口。这个好. Yeah, so we don't have these words in English. Whatever the subtitlers did, they did a great job, because I don't even know how to translate. Like clear and crisp.
Yeah, clear and crisp, and make you feel comfortable. You can have the flavor, but it's not like a whoa.
Yeah, it's very easy drinking.
It's like a virgin sex. It's like it's good, it's fun, it's not crazy, but it's good.
We're going to put that on the packaging.
It's experience.
We're going to put that in the pack. We should have like a Jiaoying reviews all of my teas thing.
I should.
She's like, oh, this is a virgin sex. This is like that guy that you can't get out of your apartment. And you don't know how he got in there. And then, so I guess people wouldn't buy that tea then. Probably not.
They wouldn't,
We got to come up
unless
with
he's paying for the apartment.
Yeah, unless he's paying for the apartment. In which case, you know how he got in the apartment.
Stay in the closet. Bamboo closet.
Yeah, this is the way it is. So, how did you originally come to the States? When did you move here?
2009.
Okay.
On that fateful day, Jiaoying Summers took a plane to Kentucky.
To Kentucky?
From Beijing to Kentucky.
And did they have a direct flight from Beijing to Kentucky?
No, went to Chicago.
Yeah.
Got lost in the airport.
Yeah.
Thank God my aunt bought me 3 panda bear toys. I was just walking, trying to talk to people. People don't talk to you in the airport.
No.
They think I'm trying to get the nails done. Like, they don't talk to me. They're like, go away!
People are like, this is, the airport is not a good place to meet people.
Yeah, I couldn't ask people where do I transfer from Chicago O'Hare to Lexington, Kentucky. They don't talk to me.
They didn't talk to you. They were just
they just push me away. They don't touch me because
they don't want to get in that. They don't want any of that smoke.
No.
But But in terms of the trips, you went to Kentucky, and then you were doing college in Kentucky. Is that right?
Yeah, I studied business, economics, finance. I learned theater on the side because I wanted to become an actress.
Nice.
So I went from Kentucky to Hollywood right away after school. 2013, I moved from Kentucky to Hollywood. I drove.
So you drove there? I drove all the way also. We probably took some of the same roads because I went across Tennessee and all the way when I was going east. So you studied in school. What was it like studying in Kentucky? Was that like what you were expecting coming from China? Where were you from in China originally?
河南.
Henan. Okay, cool.
大省.
No, 大省. Okay, very cool.
人口大省.
Yeah.
So, I thought I would become pretty when I come to America, but it wasn't the case because I was not confident. I was slouching. My boob just came in. I was slouching, and I have acne on my forehead. I was wearing a band. It's disgusting. Ugly people wear bands. Like hot people wear a band when they have the mood. Ugly people cannot not have bands.
Ugly people don't have. It's a question of
choice. If you are in love with somebody, lift the bands first before you really think you're in love.
Yeah, because that's the thing. If you attracted them and you had the band, and then all of a sudden you take the band off, they might not even recognize you.
Yes.
Might be a different person.
Exactly.
Might be living in a whole different world.
Yes.
That would be the way
maybe it's a different pronoun.
It could be you never know. You never know. So you were doing so you lived a band life in Kentucky, and then you were like, I'm taking the band. You're slouching. How do you deal with this? I have the bad posture.
My mom hit me in the back whenever she see me slouching. Now she lives with me, so it helps.
Yeah, so
it hurts. Physically, it's just like. So now I'm slouching. I think about her face. I just go like this.
That's the only true way to knowledge is pain.
To feel the pain. I love the pain. I enjoy pain very much.
And that like hits you at like a reptile level. Like your reptile brain is just like, don't slouch, don't slouch, don't slouch.
Yeah, my mom helps me in every way. All her verbal abuse now works in my favor as a comedian.
All the abuse, this is good. That was the good thing about being a comedian, and continues to be the good thing. If bad things happen to you, it's just material.
Exactly, that's the best. And
other people, it's just bad.
Yeah.
For you, maybe you will benefit.
Yes, it's funny. It's all the things you can do. It's funny. Like every time I break up with a guy, I'm like, oh my god, I finally can say this now.
Yeah. So you'll be keeping back all the jokes just in case.
Yeah, I'll have the jokes, and whenever like we finally break up, I'll be like, thank God he's gone. I'll be like,
which ex-boyfriend do you think you got the most material from? You don't need to name names.
Unfortunately, it's my ex-husband, but I don't talk about him as much because I think it's better for my children.
No, it's probably not.
I mean, it's all like light jokes now about him. But like all of the guys I sort of went on dates with in college and briefly dated a few guys after my husband. Those guys are weird. They are fucking losers. So
where do you go to find these people?
I don't. I just. I mean, if I am really desperate, I can just go on dates every day. But I'm not. I was looking for somebody who's serious. I went on this dating app called The League.
Oh yeah, I heard about The League.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
So stupid. I mean, my friend got me on it. Oh my God. Those
Did
guys
you feel it? Yeah. What were the guys like on The League?
One of the guy was sweet. He's a doctor at Kaiser. He's very handsome, very tall, very beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
But the problem with him is that, I mean, doctors are so busy. Like, I'm a comedian. I just feel like he's not gonna not treat a cancer patient because I'm doing a show in Tennessee, you know? Yeah. Because his job is always more important.
Yeah, he's like, literally, people could die if I leave here, and you're like, but I have jokes, I got bits.
Yeah.
You got to tell me whether the bits are funny.
I know. So I just I thought he was really good.
That's funny.
He's very, very good, but I just knew that for me, I need a man who can actually be around me more.
Yeah.
Because that's how we know each other.
Yeah, you don't want other people's lives depending on you guys being apart.
Yeah,
because you can't help
hard.
him. You can't be in a surgery and like telling jokes.
Yeah.
And then they're like literally they're knocked out. They're like getting surgery done.
Yeah.
And like you think you're killing it, but they just can't hear it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
I saw the. He was a German American doctor, very handsome, very charming. But I think we both just kind of know, like my schedule is getting so much more demanding, and he can't be remote.
Can't do it.
He can't be with me on the tour.
That's the way to do it.
So we stopped talking to each other. But he was one of the good ones. You know, if I wasn't a comedian, that could work. If I lived in LA, we can just have a. He loved the life. He loved art. He was great. He was very handsome.
I gotta
but
find.
I'm also like a really realistic. I don't want to pretend it's gonna work out because if we don't see each other at all, it's just once a month.
Also, like, what's the point?
I'm a single mom. I have two children.
You have 2 kids.
I have 2 kids, and I need a man who I can live, work together.
Yeah.
We should be something we are doing together. We can be doing it together, and build an empire together, like a power couple.
Yeah.
You know, like a power couple.
You want to get to the point where like neither of you can be defeated because the other one would rescue you.
Exactly.
Or like destroy your enemy.
I'm
together.
all building an empire together.
Yeah, you gotta
right?
build the empire.
You have to know each other, be together. So I knew that's not gonna happen. And then the other guys like pretend to be rich guys, and I'm like, I don't. They try to like tell me how much money they have. I'm like,
Not the point.
honey, I had a Bentley. Like,
Yeah.
just relax.
You're like,
car.
I've seen it before. I've seen it
Yeah,
before.
my car is
What do you
rolling
think
off.
of it like if because especially this happens in Hollywood, if like people are like, I have a lot of money or I have a lot of followers, what does that do to you? You just
Nothing.
don't want to
I'm
deal with this.
disgusted.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted by them. I like a nice person who is kind, genuine, with talent. That I think
That's hard to find.
yeah. I don't like when people brag about how much money they have.
Yeah, it's really
and how much follower they have.
There's like all sorts of crazy. I got invited to a party once. It was like an influencer party, and you needed to put your Instagram handle into the invite before they would even tell you where the party was.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, but the thing was, it would be really funny if they were doing it on like they knew what they were doing, but they are unironically doing this. If it was ironic, it would be funny. If it was unironic, which it is, it's not funny at all. I'm like, who are these people here? I don't want to go to the party anymore. Like deal with these people. But so all this comes together in the sense that we give people maybe a little bit more of a beginning, middle, end to your story here. So you moved to LA after you did college in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I had asked before, like, what did you like about Kentucky? Did you like Kentucky? Do you not like Kentucky? You're getting out of there. Do you like it? What do you think of Kentucky?
Rolling hills, beautiful scenery. The summer in the Red River Gorge with all the flowers, beautiful. I think the first love of my life, Ilya, that's my first husband. We were college sweethearts. We spent a lot of time in the nature. He's more like he's a Russian American guy. Was born in Russia, went to America when he's 4, so he's more not fresh to the boat. A scientist. It was like you can't see me being with a scientist.
Yeah.
Imagine Joe Wang. So he's the sweetest. You know, he's the sweetest.
Yeah.
And we enjoyed hiking, and I didn't. I just did whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do, but I loved the nature.
just, like, walking
but
up
he
in
just
the hills.
more crazy about nature.
Yeah.
He loved everything about the nature.
There's some really nice nature in that part of the country.
I know. We spent a lot of time in the nature, and he took the most early photograph of me.
Oh, really?
As I could be object of a model, of a performer, or something.
You were saying you never had a photograph taken of you
like
before?
a real photo, like
Oh,
a real
like an actual
photographer,
photo
like
shoot.
me would be posing next thing, not like
okay.
a family photo,
Yeah.
a school photo in China. You know?
Yeah.
So he just thought I was beautiful, and I never thought that way. But I met some model girl in Kentucky that I paint, so they need to do some makeup with the butterfly on the face, and I said I can do it. I did it, and I realized I can be a makeup artist. So I started doing makeup for the models, and then the models were like, "You should be a model." I'm like, "What? I'm ugly." But then they want me to do it. I said, "I don't want to do it." They're like, "It's $500 for a shoot for Harley Davidson." I'm like, "I'll be there."
He'll be there.
Yeah,
I got
then
the
I
Harley
started
Davidson
modeling.
money.
And they were like, "Don't slouch. You want $500? Don't slouch." I'm like,
I
"No,
gotta
not
keep-
slouching
I gotta
anymore.
remember.
Anything for $500."
Anything for $500.
So I did that. I was like, "Okay, I'm hot now." So I started getting eye contact.
Was it that quick? You're just like, I'm hot now.
I see
I'm
the
in
photo.
it.
I'm like, that could be me. I mean, that was me. So the first thing I put hair back, clip it back. I start squeezing lemon juice on my forehead to kill the acne.
Is that how all these techniques, man?
I don't know. The acne was disgusting. So I'm like, I'll do whatever it takes to remove
Couldn't
these
be
stitches.
worse.
So I squeeze the lemon juice. It helps a little bit. I don't know. I just do whatever. I start showing it. I don't stop picking on it. Then I removed my glasses. I become hot. I was wearing lenses. Then I'm like, okay,
Yeah, you're
we
like,
can
oh,
work
I'm
with this.
a lens person now.
Yeah, I'm like eye contact lenses. We can be cute. So I stopped slouching. I go to the gym now.
Yeah.
So I started hitting the gym, and I realized I'm hot. And then that's how I
That's how there was
start
like.
to try to
was
tell
it?
my-
Was there one moment where it just like flipped?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was a math tutor in Kentucky. So I remember I was tutoring. I just tutored people's homework, and we have a great basketball team, Kentucky basketball team, UK. And then there's one of the basketball team guy, a big star now.
Yeah.
Not saying his name.
Yeah.
It wasn't Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was doing their homework because there's another girl. It's a Chinese girl, a rich girl who has daddy's money. She drives a Beamer and white Beamer. She's so pretty. You know, the Chinese pretty. She's skinny like this chopstick.
白富美.
Skinny. That's how skinny she is.
Yeah.
Skinny, and she has like a really small V-shaped face. You know, Fan Bingbing face.
Yeah.
And then she's so
big eyes,
pretty.
small
Big
face.
eye, tall nose.
What's your WeChat?
Small lips, cherry lips, and she's so pretty. And so the basketball star be like, hey, we are celebrating, you know, the party. Would love to invite you. He was saying that to me. I didn't even look at him. I was like,
it can't be me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not me. And then
he's like, hello, Chinese girl.
Yeah.
I said, me? He goes, yeah, I want you to be at the party. What's your number? Can I have your number?
I'm like, oh.
I was still shocked. my friend, the white girl, the white Chinese girl.
Yeah.
She's like, excuse me, do you mean to ask my number?
Yeah, she's like, are you
asking my number?
You got a lazy eye or something?
Yeah.
You're looking in the wrong direction. Like, I think you're looking here. You're looking over there.
Yeah. She's like, do you mean my number? He's like, no, I want her number. I was like, you want my number, not her number? She's a hot one. He's like, no, I don't want her number. I want your number. But she can be your +1.
Oh, that was very nice of him.
This girl,
she probably freaked out.
she freaked out, Jesse. You are the only person
Lost
in the
her
history
shit.
can understand this. She stood up. She's like, excuse me,
Yeah.
you are asking her number,
Yeah.
not my number.
那我这么美啊？
I want to know that.
你怎么问她的
对呀。I just want to know that in China, I'm prettier than her because her skin's too dark.
That was what I was gonna say. It's like, 因为她皮肤太黑了。
To a black guy, she said.
Yeah, to a black. Yeah, and then he's like, what are you?
Then he started laughing. He's like, oh my God, God damn it, that's the funniest shit ever heard. You get a 10, vampire. So that's like he started laughing like I'm really hot. Like it's a joke. It's like somebody calling Halle Berry ugly.
That's
it's
so
like
funny.
You think Halle Berry is ugly, you have a lazy eye.
Yeah.
So he's laughing because when she told him that I am not pretty, she's a pretty one because I'm too dark. So that's the moment I'm like, you know what?
If you're especially in college, the college basketball players, that's like that's the top of the top.
That's the validation.
So you get that
that's
confidence.
The green check mark.
You show up in LA, and then LA. It's a lot about confidence. It's like it's not just LA, but it's just like the entirety of like performing. You know, like no one wants to see someone on stage. It's like I'm not actually like excited to be here. You know.
Oh,
what I mean?
you have to command the stage. I mean, you got to do it in Chinese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we have to do the harder way. It's just a million times harder because our mind has to be even faster to be able to channel the funny in a second language. It's just really difficult.
You need to really
because you were
thinking.
not born bilingual. You were not born with.
No.
I learned English when I was 18.
Yeah.
We have the same path, right?
Do you feel like you have an advantage over the native speakers in the sense that like because you know you have to earn it, you actually fight harder?
I work harder.
Yeah.
I bought my own club. I commit. Like I commit to men, career, and my family. Like I commit. I'm a very traditional Chinese woman. I'm a communist
if you're gonna
queen.
do it,
Yeah, I believe in commitment.
I give all for it. Do you have a 5-year plan?
Oh yeah, I have a 5 months plan, 5-year plan. My 5-year plan I can accomplish in 6 months. So now I need to write.
There we go. Well, that 效率太高了. You're gonna.
效率高.
Yeah, 效率高.
I don't complain. I
just
work.
go out and get it.
I work.
Well, that was one thing that I saw because I performed at your club, the Hollywood Comedy, and it reminded me a lot in many ways of the club that I had put together in China, which is like at the time in Beijing, if you wanted to do like stand-up, like real stand-up, there was really nowhere to do it because you could perform in like a bar, but then they would be like playing music in the back, or they would have like people coming in and out of the baojian, and it was like I wanted to just do stand-up. I wanted to be in a stand-up club, but there were no comedy clubs, and there were xiangsheng like tea houses, but they were all like de yunshe. They had their own thing going. It wasn't like you could book them. So I rented a courtyard and I turned it into a small comedy club, and that was the beginning of like trying to be able to do what I wanted to do with the stand-up. And so you kind of did the opposite here, where you're like, you know, and Hollywood is actually much harder because it's hard to get stage time here.
Very hard.
It's very hard to like, and without stage time as a comedian, you can't like practice it.
You can't get better.
You literally can't get better. And so it's like, you know, but a lot of comedians don't want to do the work of actually hustling together the whole show. So they kind of just like complain. But you weren't going to do that.
I don't complain.
How did you think to like, I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to open my own comedy club.
So when I auditioned for John Singleton, he did Boys in the Hood, a TV show he did. Rebel is a TV show about a black girl who's a cop, has a Chinese sidekick. It's rush hour on a low budget.
Yeah, low budget rush hour.
And he asked me to improv.
Yeah.
And I started improvising, and they were across the table with me, the casting people. He stood up, started laughing. He stood up. He walked over to me with his phone playing Ali Wong's Baby Cobra. He said, "You should do stand up. You're gonna be a big star."
Yeah.
I'm like,
really?
"Oh my God, me? Do I have the job now? Do I have the job now?" He goes, "Hell no."
Yeah. He's like, no, not for us. You should do that. You get out of here.
Get out.
Go there.
Get the fuck out.
But like, that's kind of.
He got my phone number though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And he texted me the next day. He's like, "Do you want to have tea with me at Playa Vista in this?" I remember that Cafe Del Rey, and that's where he lives. His boat is there. We went there. He said, "I'm serious. I will be here for you. I'll support you. I'll do whatever. I'll make phone calls. But you have to do something for me. You're gonna go to the open mic first. You go do it for open mic." I didn't do it because I felt that he just wanted to feel bad. He rejected me, and he wanted me to feel better about my failures. I knew because if I cannot book a job memorizing the fucking pages and pages of a dialogue somebody else written for me, just be a fucking vessel to say it. How can I be on stage write my own joke?
It is
performing
different.
in my second language. Like this is not even possible. I just did not know I can do it because there's no stand up in China. You and Joe Wang are the first people who really
there's not a lot of
stand up.
It's very, very recent.
Before you guys were doing it, we have xiangsheng, but it's different art form. So I didn't know I can do it. And so I went back to China. I hosted the Shanghai Film Festival. We have a Danyuan is foreign films that I was hosting it, and because I am bilingual, and that's where I met my ex-husband. And then he was very charming. We fell in love. He's very rich, very very handsome, and crazy about me. And he impressed all my friends, taking them to his yacht.
Oh, that's a big play.
And also like the Shanghai, there's like a restaurant. It's $2,000 per person. He took 20 people there.
这最贵的。
对吧? All my friends tell me I should date him.
Yeah.
Because they want his treatment. They want to be his friends.
They were benefiting from like
pimping me out.
Pimping you out. So that was
and he at the beginning he was amazing. He said, "You know what? You're my girlfriend. You're not auditioning for those assholes. I'm gonna spend $5 million buy your movie."
这个好。
He did it.
He did it?
Yeah, but the problem is that the TV show he invested in the lead role,
Yeah.
Since I wasn't famous, so they want me to look the part, which I had to be pretty.
Yeah.
Which this is not pretty. I need to lose 20 pounds.
You can't get sucked into this.
I was bleaching my skin. They want me to bleach my skin.
You can't get
And I bleached one session, and then I also can't eat. I was eating spinach, so I almost fainted on set. I said, I don't remember my lines. They were like, "Oh, don't worry, we have voiceover."
This is why you gotta do
voiceover.
You gotta do voiceover for your own lines. That's really goddamn annoying.
I'm like, no.
You get no. And this is the good thing about being a comedian is like, if you're a comedian, you get to do it your way. Like that's the best part. Like people are like, "Oh, you should be like this." No. Because it doesn't matter. No one's advice about your comedy is ever good advice.
Yes.
Have you noticed? Everybody tells you, you should do this, you should do this. It's always horrible ideas.
Yes, I'm getting the IV skin, like basically skin bleaching IV, eating spinach, getting on set and fainting. And then they also like, can you get Botox on your cheeks? Because your cheeks are too big. It's taking over the camera.
God, it's taking over the camera.
So they did my hair like this, Jesse.
They
did my hair like this, and they used the hair tie to tie like this, so it can be more V-shaped. And then I wear like a turtleneck, so I look like this.
Yeah, I was to make it clear, Tea Time with Jesse has no restrictions on the size or shape of the faces.
Yeah, the bigger the better.
Big
face is good.
Big
Small
face
is
good.
okay. Whatever you have.
You need, as long as you have a face so you can drink tea. That's all it is. Now we're gonna have some people yell at us because some people don't have heads. But we'll be all right.
Yeah. So and I just decided I was the girl who was bullied for having darker skin. If I become successful as an artist, I don't want to be the less skin. I don't want to lie to them. I want them to be okay with what they look like.
That's the thing. That was the thing. That's the thing I'm struggling with here.
So I left.
Yeah, you just can't.
I said I can't do it. So they found somebody else. My ex-husband was so angry at me, but I'm like, I can't do this. I have to be authentic to my voice.
Yeah.
That's what I look like. I want girls who look like this and feel good.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, I have to bleach and lose weight. No.
No.
Be whatever you are.
Yeah.
So that's why I went back
also,
to America.
it's like you can't. in the long term, like how are you going to beat other people trying to pretend to be them when you're not actually them?
Exactly.
It's not going to work.
Just be you. So I come back to America, I still have nothing. I just had a baby. I got fat, and I text John. I said, I'm doing open mic now. He said, do it, and what do you think? Let me know what you think. So I started open micing. I realized there's no stage time. You sit for 3 hours for a lottery mic. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
So I decided to buy my club. The first month I started, I'm like, no, I need 10,000 hours. Who should I to get 10,000 hours? Then I'm like, I should myself.
There we go.
Yeah,
you put that on a shirt. Yeah, put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
That's inspirational, people.
Yeah, I myself to get this comedy club on Melrose. It's a small black box theater that seats 40 people, and that's where I started. I was the open mic host,
place.
The owner, the toilet cleaning lady, everything.
Yeah, you got to do it all yourself. It's a great venue. You should go see the shows. There's a lot of mics there now, a lot of shows.
Daily mic.
And the cool thing about the stand-up is like, and I remember I had this moment when I did my first like big, we'll say like big stand-up show in China, where I was like, these are the same jokes I'm doing at that 30, 40 person mic. And now I'm doing them on TV. And I'm like, oh, like if you can do it for 30 people, you can do it for 500.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually easier to do it for 500 than it is for 30.
Also, people like us, we are born performers. The more people, the better.
Yeah. I like there to be more, obviously, but you don't need it to make good comedy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
if you can't kill 20 rooms, you can't do it.
You need to make money, but you don't need it to actually get good at the
Intimate
thing.
room is good.
Yeah.
Because you say things that normally you don't say.
And if it's your club, it's probably the same as it was you hosted a lot, probably, right?
I was the open mic host. I hosted 10 hours a day.
Yeah, that's nuts. 10 hours a day.
10 hours.
Did you have so you just doing mic after mic after mic during the day?
Nobody was hosting. I was the only host. Before I hired anybody, I decided to do it to see how to run this place.
Yeah.
So I was hosting every single day. Every single mic, I was a host. And I work on my jokes. I bring you up. And for the first weeks, my mic was free because it's new.
Yeah.
I'm being Chinese, like it's free.
Yeah.
Just come here. So I can be on stage and talk about shit.
Yeah. Well, you need audience.
Yeah. So it was free. Then we become popular, obviously.
Yeah.
But I just really pay my dues. People don't understand it. They think I blew up so fast, but they don't understand it. I bought my own club.
No, and it's like, it is like that. It's like, you need the stage time, but a lot of people think it takes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years because they're doing 5 minutes a night and then they don't have a second show.
Yeah, they do one show a month.
Yeah.
I do 10 shows a day.
Yeah, and so it's like you will get better doing it that way.
You keep bombing and you get better.
I
bombed in private.
Yeah.
So I thrive in public.
Yeah. You bomb, but again, put on a shirt. You gotta have your own line.
I bombed in private, so I can thrive in public. That's amazing, Jesse.
That's a good shirt.
That's a good one, right?
You said it. You said it right now.
That's
You're looking over at Dustin like, write that down.
Dustin, please. I bombed in private so I can thrive in public.
Yeah, there we go. It's good. There we go. You got one good T-shirt idea out of this podcast. You'll have 2 or 3 by the end. It really is like that though. Like I think that the cool thing about, I think it's not surprising to me that you're doing well in comedy, even just if the only thing I knew about you is that you came here and you learned English and you're willing to go out and be yourself in the second language. Because I think people hit 2 problems with language. One, they're not willing to even speak. And then the second thing is that sometimes you have people who are willing to speak, but they're not really being themselves in the second language.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, this is safe and okay and I can communicate, but I'm not gonna like grow in the second language. And I feel like a lot of this experience, I mean, this is all growing in your second language.
I think so, because everybody I loved left me, so I have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what? That's what I got. You want to leave? Fuck you.
Yeah. And then you're like, and that energy is the sort of thing that's going to drive you through that hard stuff. Because like, I think a lot of the, what was it? So I met a guy who works for Disney. He did the casting for the musicals for Disneyland Shanghai, so all the musicals. And he said, like, we find kind of there's 2 types of people that make it in performance. One is the people that have enough money, they can just kind of like keep doing it slowly forever, and eventually they just know everybody and they're okay. And the second type are the people who like have everything to lose. They've staked it all. This is I can dance, that's the only thing I can do. I have no backup plan. And you need almost an element of both of those really to succeed, because if you live in the crazy mindset forever, you can't actually like thrive as a person.
Exactly.
But also if you just have like, oh, it'll happen tomorrow. I'll do the show tomorrow. I'll do the open mic tomorrow. newsflash, you never do the open mic. And even if you do, you don't get good enough to actually like outcompete other people.
That's so true.
Yeah. So it's like, it's definitely, so it's been a lot of growth recently for you though, even though you're putting in the work. You have definitely been growing very quick, very fast. What has it been like sort of seeing both the social media followers going up and getting into bigger clubs and being able to do your own shows and headlining it? What has that really changed in the way that you've like looked at things?
I think my work ethic with my people skill both helped me. Because I am very grateful. If you help me, I'll be grateful. A lot of people in the business as an artist, they are very spacey. Somebody literally launched their career. They don't even talk to them anymore. Those people lose in the long run because there's a lot of talents. If I helped you, you don't have to suck my dick, but like I want you to at least say hi, or during the holidays send a card, or just just shows when you are in public. When you talk about your journey, mention my name. You don't have to be like, oh, just mention, like I talk about John Singleton because he was there for me. He told me like nobody, sometimes he help people who's big stars out, they don't talk about. They just like, oh, I woke up, I decided something. I don't do that. If you help me. That
appreciation goes a long way. Like, because it's like, I think also, especially when you get to a point in life where you're like, I want to help people. Like, if you want to be able to help people, really all you're asking for is just for a thank you.
Open the door, open the door. Thank you.
Also, like, it's like, if for the people who are actually going to run and do it, like, he can open the door, he can't write your jokes.
No.
It has to be you doing the work. So it's like, it's actually kind of easy for people to, it's a lot easier than people might think to say, let me help you out, let me help you out. But you have to be the person who's going to like run through the wall. So that when you do succeed on the other end of it, you can say, oh, thank you so much. That was a big deal. I mean, that's why I always like, even now, like, I always tell people, it's hard in Hollywood, but in China, I always still, first introduction, who are you? I say, I'm Ding Guangquan, the 徒弟. I'm Master Ding's disciple. Master Ding gave me this fan.
It's gorgeous.
对，爱杰西弟子 拜师留念.
Oh, that's 拜师的时候送的。
So this is when I apprenticed to Master Ding, he wrote this calligraphy himself.
Oh, beautiful.
弄月朝风. So 弄月 is like, joke the moon and satirize the wind. The idea as a comedian, you want to be able to talk about everything. 风月 风月之间都是内容。都是素材。
It's so beautiful. Yes, Jessie, I really felt like, it goes a long way to show your appreciation. Like, for example, like I'm some people who kind of encouraged me even. I always remember the act of kindness because the world is very cruel. And one of the, I don't want to be a but I think I'm very smart.
You could be smart without being a cunt.
People just don't respect my intelligence because I have an accent. They were like, oh, she's a massage whore. I wish I can be, I'll make more money, but I'm not.
That's the easy money. You got the hard money. No, the comedy money is never the easy money.
Oh, it's hard. So I'm actually very intelligent. Don't try to with me. You're gonna get
wrecked. You're gonna lose.
You're gonna lose.
And it's gonna be painful and embarrassing.
Your asshole. Don't
the whole time.
Don't try to undermine my intelligence.
It's gonna be bad.
I'm smart because I realized that because I rise so fast in Los Angeles. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like I can be a regular at Law Factory. But it just
you got to figure out. You're at a point where actually, like a lot of people here, they chase what they think they're supposed to want. But then if you actually get to a point where you start to get stuff, then you actually need to realize like, oh, I need to actually know what I want. I can't just like blindly do stuff. And that was one of the things that I saw in China was like you would have people that they're like, I want to be on this big show, and then they'd get it, and then they basically just work for a talent company, and then they just do KFC commercials. And they and that's not bad. Like, good, get your money. KFC, fantastic chicken. But like the reason it stops and then eventually usually it kind of like peters out is because they mistook the, they say, oh, if I want to be a comedian, I want to be a regular at the Laugh Factory or whatever. And they forget that like, well, the point of it is not just to show up at a room every day.
No.
You have to have a reason why you want to get there.
Yeah.
So what was, for you, for the comedy, what's the reason that you want to get there, that you can say, yes, I want that opportunity, I don't want that opportunity?
I think it was very funny. My first month doing open mic, when I was on my knees cleaning the bathroom, because I said, my mom always tell me, you open a place, the cleanest place should be the toilet. You should be able to drink that water. That's how clean that should be.
That's your mom's opening a comedy club 101.
Well, we grew up in a restaurant, so she's the business owner, so I know business.
Yeah.
So I always want to make sure things are, because comedy clubs are disgusting, you know. So I want to make sure everything's clean and nice. I was in the bathroom cleaning the toilet. I was just looking into myself in the mirror. It was like my first month. I said, I want to be the first Chinese comedian to ever play the Apollo Theater, to headline, to do 1 hour and get a standing ovation.
And then they're like, that's the goal. Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah, I did it in 4 years.
4 years, so you had an extra year on it.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
So that happened, and to that moment, I every day. The Apollo.
Cheers.
So that was a goal and impossible. The only woman who did it was Phyllis Diller. She did Carnegie Hall in 6 years. She performed at Carnegie Hall, 6 years in comedy.
What was it like performing at the Apollo?
It was such a battle. I fought hard for it. If I do it again, I won't do it. I guess I will still do it because I'm me. But it was so difficult in every single way. I did not get any sponsors. I had the ticket link very late. They didn't give me until 2 months before the show. It's 1,600 people.
Yeah, that's a lot of tickets to sell.
You are gonna do it. If you are doing the Apollo, you better sell the out or don't do it. So I need to pull the plug or do it.
Yeah.
So I decided to do it. And
but that's a hard way to do it. That was not the easy way.
I made it happen.
You made it happen.
I got a standing ovation. I got all of the important people there.
There we go.
And Rosario Dawson came with her mask to support me because she's the queen of East Village. You know, she came. It was beautiful. It was amazing. But I think because I want to do that in 5 years, so every single day I work towards that. Is that if I do 1 open mic, that's not enough. I do 10. I get home, I still write more. Then I tape a little joke on camera for TikTok. That was right before pandemic. And when I closed my club, there's a pandemic, I have a choice. My ex-husband's like, I'm not paying for this shit. Because you're not funny, you don't speak English, you're not doing this. So I remember driving to the Real on La Cienega to sell my Birkin bags so I can keep the club alive. So I sold the 5 Birkin bags to be paying the rent.
There we go. That's the real joke. So if you're ever sitting in a comedy club, people think like, oh, a comedy club make money. Comedy club's a horrible business.
No, you don't.
It's a horrible business. And I say this as somebody who loves comedy clubs. I didn't have any Birkin bags to sell, but we did make a little bit of money from the tickets and stuff like that. But it's not an easy business.
No,
so
it's very hard.
You were like, so you were in, and so do you feel like? I mean, I'm sure you wouldn't have rather sold those bags, but like, do you feel like making the sale and you're like, I sold it, I'm in. You know, I'm committed.
Yeah, I didn't care about the bags.
You didn't care about the bags.
I'll sell my kids if I had to. I'm kidding. I'm doing that so I can give them a good life.
That is good. Yeah.
So I sold the bags and I realized that I would never get respect in Los Angeles because people see me starting up here. People remember it was yesterday I was open micing. They don't believe because nobody has ever done this. Nobody has becoming a national headliner in 2 years, 3 years. You don't.
That's not the way it works.
Sell tickets.
But also the world is different now, and that's because of the internet. Like I came here, it's like part of the reason I haven't been going to as many shows I thought I would is because when I first got here, I hit up the mics, I saw what you were saying, drive all around town for 3 minutes maybe. And I had been a professional stand-up.
Me.
I should have called you earlier.
Just do Jesse's show.
I should do a show. We should get a regular show at the Hollywood Comedy.
Yes, can you make sure that
we gotta get people here. If you're in the LA area, you gotta come out.
Can you make sure he get his show at the club?
We should do some shows. That would be a lot of fun.
Like for sure. Like you have your show. You just have your show. You book people you want to showcase. Yeah. Your headline.
It would be
like
fun.
It's like
I got to meet more people, and so you can be on it.
Yeah,
and I do have a couple friends of mine that we're gonna be trying to put together some Chinese shows.
We have to. That's what we're trying to do to bring the Chinese Mandarin stand up in the LA comedy scene.
We gotta get it going.
We don't have it. They have it in Seattle. They have it in San Francisco. They have it in LA.
LA is like the one place without it. But let's take a quick break. Okay. We'll switch tees and we'll get back and talk about a bunch more stuff. I'm Jesse.
Perfect. Jiaoying Summers. So happy to be here.
We'll be right back.
好的。
Hey there, I'm from one of those online mattress companies. Apparently, people who listen to podcasts have an insatiable desire for mattresses, like can't get enough, fairy tale shit or something like that. The problem with most mattresses, though, is they make lousy tea. Just ask this guy who's not a paid shill. Well, I tried drinking my mattress and it was pretty bad. I mean, first I just put my lips on it and started sucking, but that didn't really work. Then I poured hot water on it, but that just made it wet and hot.
Also, my girlfriend was like, it's 4 a.m., what are you doing? She's always like that. The problem would be solved if instead of a mattress, you were drinking Jesse's Tea House teas. Jesse gets teas straight from small tea shops and tea farmers in China and puts them into his subscription service. Just use the code JessePod for $10 off your first order of $30 and stop trying to drink your mattress.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Tea Time with Jesse. I'm here today with Jiaoying Summers.
Hi guys， 大家好，我非常开心能够做客。
哎，太好了。
解析茶室，
解析茶馆。
解析茶馆。
嗯。那我们这个 like we should we go back in English, otherwise we're gonna have a big subtitling bill.
Yes.
我其实也可以说中文。我也在想到，因为我4月我也会去中国，然后我在想到可能在那边也会录一些中文的节目。
太棒了。
Yeah, 太棒了。Jiaoying is Chinese, born in China, now LA. For many, many years.
Yeah.
And blowing up in the comedy scene all throughout America, doing English language comedy. Hopefully we'll be able to do some Chinese comedy together.
We'll do something in China.
We gotta do something. That'll be fun. We're also going to be in China at the same time, so hopefully you'll be able to do a show there too. We're going to do second half of the show today. We're drinking Ai Jie's 日常红茶, 古树红茶. So this is Ai Jie is a tea farmer that I work with in Yunnan. And so she has this beautiful tea mountain. You fly to Kunming and then take a 7-hour.
Kunming is the best. One of my friends is in Kunming.
Is great. Kunming is a beautiful city. Kunming is the capital of Yunnan, and Yunnan is where all the pu'er comes from. And so this is ancient tree tea that it could have been turned into pu'er, but instead they put it into red tea. And this is her everyday tea. This is the tea trees are only 200 years old. They have some that are 1,000, but the only 200-year-old tea trees are also pretty nice. You can see the really, really nice teas over there on the tea cake. There we go. Tear off a little bit. And that's going to be tea for the second half of the show. So as we make this tea, I want to ask, what do you think of the green tea that we just had?
The green tea was very good. It's just a very. I had a Korean barbecue for lunch.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little heavy. I did not have any carbs, so I don't eat rice because it's a trauma from my marriage. My ex didn't want me to eat rice so I don't get fat.
Yeah.
So I don't eat rice when I'm not hungry, which is good. That's why it helped me. But
well, if you're not hungry, it is
I feel like a
healthy.
little greasy and stuff. But so like the green tea we just had at Jesse Tea House is so good, so refreshing. It kind of, I think it can really help you digest, clean the oily thing from your stomach. So it was the perfect thing to drink right after a Korean barbecue.
And no sugar, which is
no
nice,
sugar, loved it.
Which is good. I'm not generally particularly healthy with my eating habits, which is a problem, but the tea is very healthy.
If you ever want help, I can text you bullying things.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh my God.
I gotta hire your mother to yell at me.
Oh. She's gonna charge extra.
She's extra. She's a big Hollywood herself.
I don't know, Jessie. I don't. First of all, she's gonna love you because she loves boys and you speak Chinese. She's gonna try to feed you every day.
That's good.
So tell me why I can't grow a dick and can be Jewish man.
There we go. Pour on the thing. Oh, we were gonna do a tea pet game. The cha tong. Okay, so here's first of all, pick whichever tea pet you would like to pour on. Let me give mine to.
I want the fat one.
Oh yeah, you want the fat? Go ahead.
Fat horse.
Go ahead.
Fat horse.
So we're gonna play a little game. These are my 4 tea pets that we have on here. I'm not gonna tell you what they're called. I want you to give each of them a name. So firstly, this guy. What do you name him?
小肥马.
The 小肥马. Yeah, that's not that far from what I named him. His name is Chonky Horse.
Chunky horse.
He's Chonky Horse.
So that's
because he's so chonky.
Yeah, so it's like a little bit.
Oh yeah. And then here's another.
Should I speak English or Chinese?
It's whatever you want, whichever name you want.
Cutie Bambi.
Cutie Bambi. Okay, this is Xander for me. Cutie Bambi's a good name.
That's cute.
And then here we go. Big guy.
Fluffy goat.
His name is Fluffy. Yeah,
Fluffy.
There you go. And then here we go. Last one over here.
Oh, sweet bunny.
Sweet bunny. This Lucky.
Lucky, cute.
There you go. So yeah, so do you have a bunch of tea when you were in China? Were you a tea person?
Yes. I loved tea when I was happy and young.
And then what kind of so Henan? What kind of tea do people drink in Henan province?
I think we like tea from Yunnan.
Yunnan, yeah.
Everybody likes tea from Yunnan. I like a pu'er.
Yep.
Yeah, I like a green tea. I like a good Hangzhou 绿茶. Hangzhou.
Oh, Henan. Okay, perfect. I can ask somebody about this. So when I went and do shows in China, one of the funny things is that like I had to learn all of the stereotypes that Chinese people have for each other.
Yeah, they don't like us.
No, they don't like the Henan.
And
for whatever reason, this was the stereotype I always heard is that the Henan 偷井盖. They steal the manhole covers from the street and they're like and sell them for pig iron. And,
oh my God.
And I was like, you've heard this before though, right?
I mean, because they are poor, so they steal things. But it's like we have bad people from every province.
Oh yeah.
So they blame everything on us. I know, like they call us thieves, you know.
Yeah, but this made no sense to me though, because I was like, first of all, if they're in your province stealing the Jingar, does that mean there are no manhole covers in the entirety of Henan? Like they ran out and then they had to go to your province to steal the manhole covers? It didn't make any sense. But it's so specific that I'm like, it had to have at
what
least
else
happened once.
does they steal? How about your wife's pussy?
Yeah, it could be anything. You never know. You never
That's so
know.
funny.
So are the Henan Ren really stealing manhole covers?
I don't think all of them do. Like 1% of the population, maybe. It's like cliche of black people, Asian people, Mexican people.
Yeah.
But it's not true because we all have good people.
Yeah.
We all have bad people from every skin color, every province, everything.
True that.
Yeah.
To good people and bad people.
Good people and the unity.
There we go. They good? They're good, right?
That's different. That's good.
So this is the gushu, like it's
Not too good.
Yeah. So this has it's red tea. So in the West, what they call black tea, the Chinese call hongcha, red tea. And so I always recommend this is like for people that maybe they like the Earl Grey or the English breakfast or whatever, but they want to have a higher quality tea.
Wow.
It's got that interesting scent, right? How would you describe this one?
This tastes like sex with a mistress.
It's like so the first one was the virgin.
Yeah.
This is the mistress.
The first one is about 花园越美, beautiful, nice, pure. This one is just like wild, exciting, accelerating.
We gotta get you to do ads for the tea. You sell a lot of tea.
I know. I'll be selling.
Yeah. We gotta get the Jesse's Tea House. Tiger MILF on your podcast.
Tiger MILF tea.
We should get on your podcast.
I should license some tea from you.
We should. That'd be a good thing. Other than the Henan Ren, are there a lot of Henan Ren in Hollywood? You have any idea?
No, not many. Not many. We kind of just don't come here. I mean, we do things that actually make money, so we don't come here and get abused by Americans.
So what were the things that when you were like, okay, you're trying to figure out like American culture when you came here, what were the things where you're like most surprised about the way life actually was in America?
When I was in college, I think I did not understand that they tip the waiter. I think that they are insulting them with money.
You're insulting them with money.
Yeah.
You thought it was like, oh, you're so poor. I need to
I feel
give
bad
you
for
money.
you. Let me give you a tip.
Well,
I was like, ew.
Yeah.
People should be equal. I saw you guys have equal rights here. So then I become a waiter. I'm like, why don't you tip me, you fucking cheap bastard? I'm gonna spit in your tea. You know?
It shifted quick.
Very fast. Because they don't pay you shit as a waiter.
Yeah. No, waiters. That's the thing is like, waiters do need that tip.
They do.
But it's also because they wrote all these crazy laws. Like they allow people to pay the wait staff under minimum wage because they know they're going to get tips, which like you can't do that any other place.
No.
The only place you get paid less is in a comedy club.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing. Drink tickets.
Yeah, you want drink tickets or free parking. People, oh
Free
my
parking.
God,
Oh
you'll
my
pay
God.
for my parking? Oh my gosh. So this is like this is hard to get up and I guess there's a question. It's like when I see the way that you do things, I really respect the drive. You just run
Everybody
hard.
say that about me. Bobby Lee is like, she's like, you just don't stop. You work so hard. And all my friends just like crazy, kind of amused by how much I work.
Because I'm wondering, the question is, I honestly think it's part of it's like China. I didn't grow
think
up
so.
in China,
It's being a Chinese woman.
I lived in China for 10 years and like, there's just everybody's running at a higher speed.
Yeah, it's kill or to be killed. Like it's winning or lose. And there's no second place.
Yep.
In the way I grew up, there's no second place. My mom would say the winner writes the history.
Yeah.
You have to
Winner does
win,
write the history.
or second place. There's second place is a loser.
I think so.
Every second place fail. Don't listen to this. This is toxic Chinese mom thing.
Yeah.
Only listen with caution.
Yeah.
Don't take it literally.
There's something in there, but don't listen to
as
it.
a reference.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not saying it to you. You don't need this. You deserve better.
Yeah.
So there's no second place.
But
if there's second place, you
this
failed.
was the problem. It was like I was like back when I was doing shows in China, we would be talking with the other comedians on like WeChat at 11:30 at night, And I was like, oh, everybody's unhealthy in the same way I'm unhealthy. But I knew it was unhealthy because this is not the way things work in America. Like you saw the strikes with the writers' guilds and everything like that. They don't want to live like that, which makes sense. But then when you take that energy and then put it back into America, like you can just run over people.
I know. I run people over with my work attitude. How do I say work
ethic.
Work ethic.
Yeah. Ethic. Yes.
Work ethic.
Sure do.
I don't complain. Whenever like I don't get something, I always look internally.
Yeah.
I always say that the reason I didn't get it is not because I'm a woman. It's not because I'm yellow, Chinese, or immigrant. It's because I'm not undeniable. So I want.
You have to become unstoppable.
Undeniable.
Yeah,
They
undeniable.
need you because if they hire you, you produce more money. You make the production quality.
I think
higher.
a lot of people like have this.
That's what I see.
Like I think that's sort of like that attitude works really well, and not just in entertainment, but anything where it's like, I want my book to be published. Make yourself the type of person when other people make a lot of money from publishing your book. It's kind of not very, but I don't think this is in conflict with the art.
I don't think so.
No, it's not in conflict with the art because it's like, if you have really no interest in making the work good, then yeah, you're going to need somebody to help you. But if you work to make it really good, the whole world is full of people who would love to make good stuff, but they can't, so they will help other people who do make good stuff make some of the money, and then they take some.
If you choose to do what we do as an artist performer, you are not gonna make a living if you are mediocre. You can be a mediocre lawyer, mediocre accountant, mediocre nurse, and people don't die from you. You can still make a living. But as a comedian, you have to be really good, one of the best to be able to make a good living.
And not just comedy, I think like all sorts of art and performance, and like it is a winner-take-all thing.
Yeah.
The top 2 to 3 people will make more money than the rest of the others. And again, artists don't necessarily work for the money, but the truth is, if you're going to pay your rent and you have kids and you have all this stuff, you need to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's it's ironically, I think, a better place to be coming from if you have enough that you like, okay, I'm not going to get kicked out of my apartment tomorrow. I can actually work on the work. You need at least something of that in order to be able to make something really good.
I think the industry is unfair. It's definitely unfair. And there are times that somebody who is less talented than you getting better jobs. It happens. But if you are undeniable, you will work.
So how do you define undeniable? What makes you undeniable?
If you go to a show, you are the funniest on the lineup. You are funnier than the person before you, after you. And you are on time, and you are nice to all the staff.
Yeah.
And most people come to the show to see you.
And then all of a sudden
you repeat the same thing.
It's like it's funny how it shifts like that.
Yeah. When that is what you do, bitch, you'll be working and getting paid a lot of money.
Yep.
So people don't like me. They really don't, because when I see you, Jessie, you know the Chinese culture. You just like most people are like, oh, she's so.
Well, I know. I've lived in China, so I'm like, I see the way you act, and I'm like, she's getting it. That's all it is.
Other
she's
guys are like, what's she up to? Like, what's wrong with her? I'm like, no, I don't want shit from you. I don't want anything from your basement. Like, you live in your mom's basement. I don't know. I don't want your broke dick, honey. Like, shut up. So they were like, oh, what she want from me? I'm like, nothing.
Another good
you
T-shirt.
Have nothing to offer.
Yeah, I don't want your broke dick. Shut up. That'd be good. You're coming out with a whole line. It's already good. I bet if you look back at this whole clip, you'd say 5 or 6 of them that you could get onto T-shirts. T-shirts, and also
Dustin designs my art. He's amazing.
People in China. We know people in China. We get these shirts made.
Yeah, I find some shirts for us.
Yeah, we get shirts.
People do it for us. Yeah. So Jessie, what I'm trying to say is like it's like what you did. What you can pull off is impossible. Otherwise, speaking Chinese. So okay, first of all, you are a foreigner. You can speak your language to communicate with your friends. You are already winning.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, a lot of people, and especially in China, because they're so nice about it, they actually don't require you to be any better. If you can go in and you're like, hey, 你好, 我要点菜. Like, what?
Cute.
They like it. And it's supportive. I don't want to make fun of people. I'm not bashing people. That's very supportive. But there's also, if you come in, hey, 你好, 那个服务员怎么没过来? They don't know what to do with you. There's no place for somebody that speaks Chinese really well. And that was one of the reasons I started becoming a writer. Because I initially thought maybe I'll act in some movies. I like acting. I do improv. I could be of help. And then what I found out was no one was writing roles for foreigners in Chinese because they literally didn't think they could find an actor to say the words.
Oh my God.
They were like, and I've been to like when I was on one of the Chinese versions of SNL, like I was writing scripts and I wasn't getting cast in the shows. I would write the scripts, they would make my script, but then they would replace me in the acting.
With a Chinese guy.
And then later I found out it was because the boss literally thought I was going to forget my lines.
You're like, I wrote them.
I was like, I wrote that script. I'm not going to
forget about them.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not. I'll just also like come see me do stand up. I'll do an hour special.
I came up with the line when I'm pooping. I won't forget about it, honey.
And meanwhile, they hire like college students, like just out of college, because they're easy to sign for the contracts. And like they might mess up their lines. They're college students. They're not professionals. I've been doing shows for 9 years. So yeah, it was annoying. It was
very hard, and
but
it's
like,
very inspiring. What you can do is that you are not doing something, just doing acting, which is easy. You brought
a lot of actors just went like, but
it's
I agree.
easy.
As a comedian, comedians all think acting is easier than comedy.
Oh yeah, there's new art forms, stand up. You know, that's just really, really impressive. And so you just understand what I'm about, because what I'm about to pull off has never been done before.
Yeah.
Joe did it.
Yeah.
Joe Wang did it. Joe Wang is the only person who did it.
Joe is great, and
Before me.
Joe is on the podcast as well. If you want to hear a really great podcast, Joe's a super nice guy, very, very smart, PhD, also fantastic comedian. And the thing I like about Joe is the same guy in Chinese as he is in English.
I know.
It's
That's
really
why
hard to
he's
do.
authentic.
It's really hard to do because, like, as a foreigner, it's very easy to do jokes in China where if I want to be like, oh, 我不懂, you know, whatever, like, I don't know what's going on. But that's not me. Like, I'm always trying to learn. If I don't understand it, like, you know, I think that's funny.
I loved
but
I caught some of your set at my show at Improv. People were dying. I loved how smart it was. You combined your Chinese, being a foreigner, and also the pronoun, gender, all kind of stuff all together in this one joke. It's quite brilliant.
Thank you.
I was very impressed.
I got to go back and look
I
at
don't
the
say that often. You can ask Dustin. I'm very snotty. Right, Dustin? I'm very snotty. I don't. If I'm not impressed, I won't stare you.
Well, so I'll ask you then, because I actually have been looking for a chance to ask you a bunch of these questions anyway. Like, how do you think I should go about dealing with the American audience as this white guy who spent so much time in China? And I feel sometimes if I come on, if I hit them with the full blast, if I don't go all the way down to like, you know, very basic stuff about China, they're going to get lost. Do you think I should just lose them?
I think you should forget about you went to China. You should forget about anything. You should just talk about Jessie right here, right now, today. And all of the thing about China, your Chinese is gonna come out.
Yeah.
It was so difficult for me. Like, do I do more about my Chinese background, Chinese things, or more things? Then I realized that, look at his face. It's a Chinese woman, and you are the only, I would say, the only white man who can do. Who know Chinese so well, you can actually do stand up. It's gonna come out.
Yeah.
All of the things. So I just
because
think
my regular everyday life, even though I'm here in LA, I'm drinking tea. I run a tea business in China.
Exactly.
I was thinking of doing a whole bunch of stuff about the tea business.
Exactly.
Even the little things, like I was thinking of doing a joke about because in China, if you want to have a business, you need to have a registered address. But I went to try to find this address, and the guy was like, I was like, oh, 我需要这个地址，就是哦，你要真地址还是假地址？ I'm like, whoa, no, 我要做真的。He's like, 哦，你没明白，假地址也是真地址。
I love that.
I'm like, wait, 我什么 ？Like, wait，假地址分真假地址和假地址。真的地址就是我们真的有一个地址，我们注册给你好，这个地方是真的存在，但是你不在那儿。I'm like, well, 那这个假地址呢？就是假地址就是我们这个地方，我们也是租给100个人。
I have amazing joke with it.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing. I'm like,
do.
So the fake address and the real fake address is like a lot like LA girls' tits.
Yeah.
It's like a real tits are the one who's fat transferred there.
Yeah.
The fake tits are like implants, but the fake real tits are like the good implants. You can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
There's levels to this. This is what I'm saying. It's like if you weren't from American culture, you may not realize the difference between the real and the fake and the real
because
thing.
the Chinese dress is so funny. It's I mean, even in English it's hilarious.
Yeah. But I like the thing is like I feel like because you're not from America, you come here, people are ready for you to have a different way of looking at things. And that was the fun part of being in China as well, is like I could bring up a normal topic, but people would be curious to see, is he going to come at it a different way? Do you have the problem where, what if you agree with the most people are like, you know, if I brought up a regular topic in China and I say something that was actually like not a Laowai opinion. Like, you know, I had a problem with like one time when I was trying to get a joke onto a Chinese TV show, and I had a joke about being on the subway in Beijing. But it wasn't like Laowai on the subway. It was just a joke about people on the subway and how they were just like attached to their phones. And then they're like, we don't want that on the show because anybody could say that joke. We don't need a Laowai to say that joke.
Yeah, but you are not. But in China, they are very specific about. They want you to play a certain role because your face is you're such a white boy.
Yeah.
So they want you to do that. But in America, I feel like it's so much more random, like casual, and like the best comedies are like just like you and I drinking tea together.
Yeah.
The Chinese white boys. I was writing a joke. I'm like, so I have this white Jewish boy explaining tea to me. He knows tea more than I know about tea. I'm just thinking about how much my mom is gonna love him more than she loves me. I was crying when I was drinking, and I go, yep, I already know my mom's gonna love him. She haven't even met him yet, but he has a dick, so. So I just thinking.
I had a joke about how it was like, I bet it'd be really weird if I were dating a Chinese American girl, it'd be like uncomfortable for them because it's like, if the white guy doesn't speak Chinese, like, oh, he's making dumplings with my mom, that's so cute.
Oh my
But
God,
if he does speak Chinese, he's like, oh, he's WeChatting my mom.
Oh my
What
God,
is he
Jesse,
saying?
that is hilarious. It's hilarious because I have a friend, his name is Michael. He's one of the part of the biggest law firm in South California, Southern California, and he's the head of their Asia Pacific office. So he speaks Chinese, not as good as you, nobody is, but very close. He's a Jewish boy.
Oh yeah.
So he's dating this Asian girl who is adopted by white people. Don't speak a word of her own language.
Oh, that's gonna be so confusing.
So this girl knows no tea. This girl is like, what is Buddha? Oh,
my gosh.
Is Tokyo in Japan? You know,
Yeah, she doesn't know.
This white guy is like speaking Japanese.
And meanwhile,
fluently.
he's like a East Asia scholar and expert.
with art all over his house. It's hilarious.
I bet his apartment looks like my apartment.
Yeah, it's all
Oh,
like
that's
Eastern
dodgy.
art. It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Yeah, you are a funny person.
Oh, thank you.
So I think
appreciate that.
don't think about the audience. Think about what makes you feel good.
Because that's the other thing is like.
Whatever is in your mind need to be released.
Yeah.
You only do that because you have no problem. You are already funny.
Yeah.
You are a funny guy. Whatever you do is funny.
And I think like it's one of these weird things. It's like the worst thing you could do as a comedian is like want the audience to love you. Like that, it's horrible. No one wants to go to a show.
The way you treat the audience, you should be an abusive boyfriend. You should just like, I think you're getting fat.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I love you guys. Buy tickets.
Buy tickets. Speaking of which, well, we'll pitch your tickets at the end. But Jiaoying's doing lots of shows. Would you have you felt like a difference in your life? As in, was there like a before and an after moment where you're like, oh, things have changed. I'm real. It's real. What
There's
was
a moment.
It?
There was a moment. I think I would call that moment of me as a open micer who tried to figure it out and a star. Is I don't know if you know the Laugh Factory, but I started open micing, doing the audition mics on Tuesdays. I stand outside the line every day, and then I find a homeless guy. I pay him $50 to stand in there for me from 12
There we
noon.
go. Hey,
so I show up at 5:30. I'm being Chinese. I don't want to stand there.
Yeah. No.
And then I never got a call back. Sometimes I'm funnier than all the other people. I never got a call back for the open mic. So
why do you think that was?
It's just very complicated. First of all, people who's hosting it, they are always gonna get their friends on stage, and the people. I'm a hard one to love. Yeah. I'm more like people who love me. Who don't like me.
You have to be okay with that energy because you're not changing your energy based on the. You walk into the tea room, you're on 100%. Yeah. Like you're gonna do what you want to, regardless of what space it is or whatever.
So people who don't like me, I'm not gonna change it.
Yeah.
Be a mild person of me, be a Wish.com Jiaoying Summers, be a cheap version of me.
Oh, that would be so bad.
It's disgusting.
It wouldn't.
So I know I can't
work.
change. Either you like me or you don't like me. And the comedy thing, they don't accept new things. They want to be a new Ali Wong. People ask me, don't wear makeup, wear overall, do more dirty jokes, be like more like Ali. Ali the star, I can't be Ali. Ali, everything she does is signature. Is the real authentic flavor of Ali Wong.
Well, she's doing it because that's what she wants to do. It's why would you do what she wants to do?
I will only gonna be a cheap knockoff version of her. Yeah. I won't even be me. I'm just nothing. So people tell me that to do that.
So what was the moment? We were there in the line.
Yeah, let's go to the moment.
You're lining up.
So I never got anything. So I remember one time, Laugh Factory was doing a search, a comedy competition. The search of the funniest female comedian is like 10 shows. they would you should send your tape. Actually, the white girl, my friend, she's another white girl speak Chinese, grew up in Hong Kong, asked me to send the tape. I'm like, no, they don't like me there. No, fuck off. So I'm like, you know what? I'll email. So I got an audition. I wasn't gonna make it. I was in Seattle. I don't want to go because I know they won't pick me because it's been a year. I've been doing open mic. So I somehow something changed. I went up. I showed up. I went there. I remember I was at a bar. I had one IPA, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm having one more. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't care because they're not gonna pick me.
The alcohol, the classic Simpsons line, alcohol, the cause of and solution to all
then
of
I just
life's
fuck
problems.
everybody. So it was my turn. I went on stage. I was me, full-blown Jiaoying Summers, the one I wanted to show the world, but I was scared to show.
Yeah.
I went on stage. I just literally
You just let it all
destroyed it, and I got up and left. And then the manager ran after me, be like,
That's the way you do it. You were just out.
I became a paid regular.
Do you think
that was the moment I knew I was a star.
That was the moment you're there. You're like, I can be me, and the more I'm me, and then
because
leave.
normally, I don't want to be
and if
me.
you want me, you'll chase me.
Yeah, you don't want me, fuck off.
You want it? And
so that's when I kind of don't care anymore because I said I always try to be polite and sweet because people don't like how aggressive I am. Yeah. They always say, you are too aggressive on stage. You're not a star yet. You can't be that because you'll scare people off. But then I be a half
I think
ass.
nowadays there's more than one way to do it. I think that's the best part about the internet is a lot of people they hate on TikTok or they hate on social media and they just don't get it. It's like whoever you are.
They also all have account when they hate on.
Yeah, they all
have account with 200 followers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they all what it is I think it's two things. Why do people hate on TikTok? It's two things. It's fear and pride. The pride is I'm too good for this, and the fear is what if I actually show people my best effort and it doesn't work?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
then like if you can't get over those two things, forget just like art. Like it's going to be hard in life if you can't get over those two things because nobody is good at anything when they start. You need to fail at stuff repeatedly. And people who learn the second language know you're going to sound like an idiot and you may even be very successful and people still, they don't know you, they hear an accent, they still might think you're slow.
They think people don't respect me because of my accent. But I don't explain myself. I just show them the results. I don't show anybody. I do me.
So now that you're doing more shows, how has it changed? Because you're raising kids. How do you balance sort of raising kids and being a comedian?
It's just
get everything together.
More pressure because I want to take the children on tour. That costs me more money. So I just need to sell more tickets. I need to be better at what I do as a comedian. I need to be bigger on my social media game so I can sell more tickets. So we're working towards to basically expand my reach and get more content on social media.
Sell some t-shirts.
Sell t-shirts. And I want my children to I want to teach them like the white dad way, like love.
Yeah.
I know it's disgusting, but I'm going to not be the super Chinese mom. I want them to do what they love.
Why is it so important to you? Do you think it's just because of the way you were raised? You want to do it different?
Yeah, because I'm successful. I'm really, really high achiever, but I'm not happy. Nothing can make me happy.
Don't give up on it.
I'm working on it.
You're working
therapy.
on it, yeah.
But I just want the children to really feel like they are loved unconditionally, and then they can thrive at the things they love. I don't want to surround like, if you don't do this, I won't love you. I want them to know that I'm always here.
Be more open.
Yeah, so they have a safety place. They are more secure.
That makes sense.
Easier to be happy.
Because when you think about that, how do you wind up doing that on a day-to-day basis? Are there things where you kind of have to catch yourself?
Yeah, I catch myself. And I also catch my mom. She loves them so much. 隔代亲, the grandparents love the grandchildren so much. But sometimes my mom has this anal thing. When something is messy, when the kids make something messy, she starts screaming.
Yeah.
I don't like screaming. I said, Mom, you cannot scream at them. We have made, they are children, they are 4. It's okay they make a mess on the floor.
That's what they
It's
do.
okay they draw on the wall. I don't care about the wall.
Professional
There's
wreckers.
no Japanese coming to examine the wall.
Yeah.
The wall.
Yeah, exactly.
We own the house.
Fine. Yeah.
We don't pay rent. We own the house. The kids can pee on the wall. I don't care. He can clean after.
It's our wall.
He can clean after.
Yeah. Or put a frame around it and say that's art.
Yes.
There you go. So it's kind of that process of trying to do it differently.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Break the generational trauma.
It's hard to do.
Yeah.
I imagine.
It's very hard, but I don't want my mom to scream because whenever she screams at me, I shake.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like a little kid, she'd scream at me, she's screaming at me. Whenever I get my hand dirty with the koi pond, she'll be screaming like, why don't you just die?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I big ups to my parents. My parents, I think, I had an untraditional sort of parenting situation grow up. My dad is gay. My dad came out when I was in second grade. And so my dad and his husband, Guy, are two of my parents, and my mom is the third parent. And now my mom is a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. But basically, I was raised by three parents. And they were all very good with each other. It didn't matter that we were divorced or my dad was gay or straight or whatever, because I essentially just had three parents. And they were very open about being okay with whatever I did. I would like, if I was like, I want to do improv, they're like, great.
Because they are gay, so they.
Yeah, I think part of it was, and I think that, you know, I had a joke that I was doing back in China where I had a bunch of gay dad jokes, and people are like, oh, they say like, oh, 那这个你如果是跟中国人结婚的话，你家人会介意吗？然后说我家是 gay， 我爸是 gay， 所以他已经接受了，他跟我说我已经接受了半辈子有人拒绝我的爱情，你觉得我会觉得国籍重要吗？是个男的都 OK。Like, as long as it's a guy, and so I have to be the one to disappoint my dad by being straight.
So you are like heterosexual.
I'm straight, but because I think of having the untraditional family situation, I think that I think that my parents really had to think about it a little bit more, and they're like saying like, what does it mean for us to want to have our life in the way that we want to do it, and then why would we tell our children they can't? You know, we have a kid that wants to live in Asia. Yeah, go for it. You know, and some of that is a money thing. Like if I didn't have enough money to fly back, that would have been hard. But like, you know, I managed to make enough money where I could travel back. And I actually came home, I bet, more than a lot of kids. If I had lived in LA, it still would have been hard to go back more than once a year, you know, especially
from
starting.
Vancouver?
From Boston.
Boston. You're from Boston.
Yeah,
Oh
Boston,
my God.
East Coast. Don't be.
You have to do the Boston show with me together.
Yeah. Well, if you're in Boston, let me know.
Yes, I'm getting the Wilbur.
Oh, Wilbur. Wilbur's big theater. Yeah, that'd be great. No, I'd love to do that. The Wilbur's is a major theater. Didn't Joe Wong? I think Joe performed at the Wilbur
We almost did it, but the time didn't work out.
Oh,
we
yeah.
were gonna do it together.
Oh, you told me about it.
I did the Boston Laugh Factory. Boston Laugh Boston.
Yeah,
I did
Laugh Boston.
in
Norm
December.
Yeah, good guy. Yeah, Norm's great. So there's, but I think that like that sort of so you want to be able to create that sort of situation for your kids where they're not like, you know, they're not feeling like they have to do this or have to do that.
Yeah, my ex-husband is emotionally distant. He's very emotionally distant. He doesn't. When Winston make a mistake, he would give him the silent treatment for a long time. He would be like, "Daddy," he'd just be like this. So that's not. I mean, he's not in the picture.
Yeah.
So I have to make up for companionship. I think companionship is very important. So I can't be with them unless I'm rich.
Yeah.
So
like
therefore,
it makes a lot of things easier if you have the
rich.
money to be able to do it.
So
and you're gonna fight for it. If you
I'll take them to Vegas with me. They're always by my side. My son opens for me. He's genius.
Really?
He does a 1 minute killer.
Oh, that's great.
Joe saw him doing it at Covina Laugh Factory.
Oh, that's great.
Very good.
Is he
loves
good on
audience.
stage?
Amazing. Dustin, he was great. Huh?
Yeah.
On stage. Incredible.
Killing
like
it.
he loves the audience. He's comfortable there. He wants to be there.
That's good.
So I'm gonna try to get him to open for me more. Just like 1 minute.
Just play, because I think that's the sort of thing. Like I remember when Joe was in China, his son would be hanging around backstage, and I thought this was like a very different environment that I grew up in. But on the other hand, it's kind of fun. Like being backstage at a comedy show.
You know, I met Joe before I started comedy.
Oh, did you?
I met Joe 7 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And my husband and I went to Joe's office. My husband was going to invest Joe's TV show.
Oh, really?
I was not a comedian. I never told Joe I want to be a comedian. Joe was actually teaching stand-up in China right then. And that's why it came to a shock to him that 2 years later, he would start talking about my name. And 3 years later, I became me. He's like, what?
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
But Joe's so nice. I'm sure he was like up on it. I think so I think it's great. I mean, I'm very glad you were able to come on the podcast. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. Love your tea.
Before we head out, last couple questions. I usually do like a lightning round. So like, you know, 1 sentence answer, something like that. But before we do the lightning round, just what did you think of this red tea?
This red tea, I love it. It's kind of like a wake-up call. It's like boom, because you have a big meal and a busy afternoon. But as a comedians or somebody who wanted to look alert, early evening, you drink this in the afternoon, and you can be very alert. Like we go on stage, before we go on stage, we do this, or like you have an important date, you don't want to look sleepy on dates.
No.
That's why you have the Hong Cha to go on dates.
Yeah.
And also the tea leaves are very good because in Chinese culture, if you are poor, you can't afford to get gold earrings. When you just get your ear pierced, you put tea leaves in there.
Oh, is that a thing?
It keeps it not being infected.
Oh.
Those tea leaves are good.
The tea leaves are good.
You can see the tea leaves people put in your ear for like.
I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
look, I
By
gotta
the way,
look that up.
yeah, yeah.
That's good. The things
it's
you
not so
don't.
long.
But these are the things I never learned
It's
as,
cool.
as a guy that moved to China in my 20s. I never learned
would
about
never
my
hang
ear
out with
piercing.
poor people.
I never. Well, it's not the poor people. It's just I don't have my ear pierced.
Oh, it's okay.
But the red tea is great.
I love it.
Let's do our lightning round. So one sentence answer. I know that might be hard for you, but
I know it's hard. I can't keep my hormones shut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Let's do it. So first thing is, what's the best part about being a comedian?
Your life, shit happens, is not shit, it's gold.
Yeah, that's good. What's the worst part of being a comedian?
You are a lonely bitch.
What's the craziest comedy show you've ever performed in?
Billboard bring me up on stage and calling me hilarious and amazing.
Oh, that's amazing. What's the worst comedy show you've been involved in?
I was invited. I sold out 2 shows in New York City. Those person begged me to do a show, do a spot. I didn't want to do it, but because I feel bad to reject them, and I went up there and they did not give me a city time.
What?
When I don't need to do it.
That's annoying. That's pretty bad. What's your let's see, one last question. Let's say, what's your advice for people that are trying to do comedy or anything creative in their second language?
Don't give up. Fight for it.
Don't give up, fight for it. Again, put that on a shirt.
Yeah.
We're all ready. We got a couple shirts out of it today. Thank you so much, Jiaoying, for coming
Thank
over.
you for
I
having me,
appreciate it.
Jesse.
For those of you who are new to the show, thank you so much for listening all the way through to the end. If you want to get any of the stuff on here, the tea tables, the tea pets, the kettles, the tea themselves, all this stuff is up on the website. We even have the Jessie Tea House tea towels and stuff like
So
that.
cute.
You guys getting tea supports the show. The show prospers. We all prosper, and you get really good tea. Other than that, I'm not exactly sure when this is airing, so you may be able to see some really fun content of our green teas. We have a green tea either pre-order or up for order by the time this comes out. And I'm going to be in China basically most of the rest of the spring at the Green Tea Mountains doing comedy shows, maybe do something together with Jiaoying in May.
Yes, so excited.
It would be fun. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. And Jiaoying, where can they find you?
JiaoyingSummers.com, SummersComedy.com, Jiaoying Summers everywhere, social media, TikTok, Instagram, and I have my national tour all year round.
And she's performing. She's performing in a ton of places. So if you're one of these people that are like, oh, I don't live near the major city or whatever, you have a lot of dates.
Yeah, there's a city near you. I'm coming to a city near you.
Yeah, she is coming. Whether or not you're there, that's your problem.
Yeah.
And you need to solve that. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you, Jiaoying,
Thank
for
you
being
for
on the
having me,
show.
Jesse.
Cheers, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Cheers.